So anyway, I got off. So anyway, we carry our wounds, right? They color everything that we see. And it can turn the simplest thing into a disaster because we're seeing it through the eyes of the wound. So when you're in that ego, in that victim state, where are you? You're in the pain. You're in the suffering. You're in the woundedness. And Robin lightens things up in this lesson by telling this joke at this point. She says, there was a man who started a new job as a taxi driver. Have you heard this one? And he was on his first day, excited to be on his new journey, and he picked up his very first fare. And she gave him the destination she wanted to go to. It was about a 25-minute ride. So they rode along in silence for nearly the entire journey. And she had been on this journey with taxi drivers before and knew that right before she got to her destination, it was a tricky turn in the road. So she wanted to help him out and make sure he didn't miss that turn. So she leaned up and tapped him on the shoulder. And he screamed at the top of his lungs. He shouted, he swerved, he slammed on the brakes, he went screeching, crossing in front of 2 to 3 lanes of traffic, finally came to a rest on the curb, sweating, panting with his head in his hands. And she was like, whoa, what just happened? What the world was that? And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. This is my first day driving a taxi. For the last 20 years, I drove a hearse. So you see, he had this certain set of beliefs, right? He had this belief system. And though it no longer served him in his new position, he still carried it with him. And the very simple, intending to be helpful, benign act of a gentle tap on his shoulder, what did it do? It triggered him. It triggered that old belief. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Do you ever get your buttons pushed? Do you ever get triggered by something? We do that in our life experiences if we have not released and healed the wound. And especially if we're not even aware of it. If we're not even aware of why we're feeling so sorry for ourselves. Right? Or so afraid. So our work, and it is diligent work, is to seek out what are we still carrying, what are these limited, erroneous thoughts that I have and beliefs that are holding me back from having a wonderful, glorious experience in this moment, however it's showing up.